Hi, yogis. It's Dr. Clark, and it's Friday. Woohoo! So, I'm going to guide you through a little bit of a flow so that you can enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're going to focus on the core. And so, when we think about the core, it's not just your abdominal muscles, it's the muscles that attach your core to your arms. So, it includes your shoulders. It's the muscles that overlap your front body to attach your legs, so your hips, and it's your front side and your back side. So we're going to be doing activities that look like they're working the front, but we're also going to be mixing in some things for the side and the back. We're primarily going to be sitting or laying down, so make yourself comfortable, spread yourself out. You may want to strap, you may want to block, so if you don't have those things already, go ahead and grab them. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We are going to focus on our breath a little bit at first. So maybe prop yourself up slightly. I kind of either like my meditation cushion, which I forgot to bring upstairs with me, or I like to take a block on a tilt. So I kind of just shove maybe the corner of it underneath me, so that my pelvis is level, and come into a comfortable seat. Okay, I'm going to tuck my right foot underneath my left sit bone, and then I have my left foot on top of my right hip. So this is a half lotus position. Palms up. We're going to only receive good energy, good vibes, right? It's like a little bit crazy out there in general. And 2020 has been nothing short of crazy. So I'm just not surprised anymore. And I'm just working on being patient and trying to absorb the lesson. So palm up. Inhale. Close your eyes. Exhale. And just take these first few moments to come into your breath. And when I say that, what I mean is try to let go of the day, let go of your to-do list. Hopefully you're in a quiet place that you can kind of drown out what's happening around you for the next few minutes anyways. And just start to notice your breathing. And what's nice when you do that is if you just listen to your breath, you can hear it coming in and going out. Maybe that auditory cue starts to calm you. And the other thing you can do is associate that with a visual representation of inhaling good energy, filling your body with life, and exhaling what no longer serves you. And do that in and out through your nose so that your nose has the opportunity to cleanse the air, warm the air, filter the air. And just be silent. Maybe set your intention for this practice. It's Friday. Maybe that's an opportunity for fun, for family. And just focus on yourself for a little bit. My intention these past few weeks has surrounded this theme of grace and love. I'm going to continue with that personally, but you can choose what you like. Just inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, blink your eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bring them down to heart center. One more. Inhale, sweep them out, reach them up. This time as you exhale, let that left arm drop down, fingertips tented out. And you take your right hand over to the left side of your ear and just tilt your head gently, right ear, right shoulder. And just continue your gentle breathing in, breathing out. If it feels good on your neck, maybe tilt your head more down. Just adjusts the location of the stretch in your body. And on your next inhale, release the grip on your neck. Bring both arms up, tilt your chin up. Exhale, hands are at center. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And as you exhale, we're going to do that tilt on the other side. So just let that right arm drape down to the ground. Your left hand wraps over the top of your head towards your right ear, bringing your left ear to your left shoulder. Keep this right shoulder in tension, moving down and away from your head so that it can intensify the stretch on the right side. Maybe tilt your chin down if it feels okay. And on your next inhale, release your grip. Bring your chin to center, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Good, we'll do a little cat-cow right here. Put your hands on your knees. Inhale, broaden across your shoulder blades. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Tilt your pelvis anteriorly, and if you have a block actually under you, slip that out so that as we move into our angry cat, our seated cat, you can roll your pelvis underneath you, rounding through your front body and your shoulders, and with your hands clasped over the front of your knees, you can get a little bit of distraction there and stretch across your shoulders or your upper back. So inhale, this is your cow pose and seated. Broaden across your shoulders, tilt your gaze up, tilt your tail. And then as you exhale, you're moving into cat so that back is really rounding. Tilt your chin down, tuck your pelvis under. And then on your next inhale, come back to center. We're going to inhale, reach your arms, sweep them up. On an exhale, bring your right forearm down to the mat or a block. Stretch your left arm long, bringing your left arm towards your left ear. Keep your sit bones down. Keep your heart open so you're tilting your chin and your chest upward. Inhale, sweep up to the top, both arms up. Exhale, come down other side. So left forearm comes down to a block or your mat. Your right arm is extended by your ear. You're tilting your chin and your chest upward, opening your heart. On an inhale, sweep everything up. Exhale, cactus arms open. Good. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, arms come down, cactus. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, bring them down, cactus. Inhale, reach and lift. This time, twist to the right. So put your left hand on the outside of your right knee, right hand behind you, twisting through your spine. Maybe gaze over your right shoulder if it feels okay. On your inhale, bring your gaze back to center. Exhale, undoes your twist. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, twist left. Right arm comes to the outside of your left knee. Left hand props behind you. Maybe gaze over your left shoulder, twisting through your spine. Your next inhale brings your chin back to center. Your exhale undoes your twist. Good. Roll your shoulders back and forth a few times, changing directions. Now we've warmed up our spine, we've lengthened through our body. So we're gonna just warm up our hips a little bit first too. So if you have your block nearby, go ahead and place that underneath your hips again so you can kind of bring your pelvis into more of an anterior pelvic tilt. That allows your hips to fall open more freely. We're just coming into a seated butterfly. So your feet are together. This allows then your legs to just open like a book. If you want to, you can put some gentle pressure on your legs to help them open, but try to do that right above your knee. So you're on this big bone called the femur, which runs from your hip to your knee. And you can give a little gentle overpressure if you want. You don't have to. But your intention in this pose is to keep your spine long. So from your sit bones to your crown, you're lengthening your spine. You're broadening across your chest. You're opening your heart. You're externally rotated at your shoulders and your hips. And then your knees are open, your hips are open, your legs are just allowing gravity to pull them down. And keep breathing just gently. And when you feel like you've had enough, bring your hands under your knees. Bring your legs up so you can close them like a book. Slide off of your block. And then just windshield wiper those legs side to side. Okay. And then the other stretch we're going to do is for our hips as well. So you're going to bring your left leg into sort of a little bit of like a figure four in front, and then your right hip does the opposite movement and opens out to the right. So you're going to feel a stretch in your hips. We're going to inhale, lift, and reach. And then exhale, hands heart center. I want you to hinge forward at your hips. And then you can walk your hands out over, maybe down to your forearms or your forehead or a block. So this left leg is really your pigeon shaped leg, and your right leg is just bent towards the outside, kind of like a frog leg. And we're just going to be here for a few breaths before we work on strengthening our core. It's a really good idea to warm up and stretch those muscles. So that's all we're doing. And when you're ready, walk your hands back in. We're going to switch sides. So now that right leg is going to be in front like your pigeon leg. Your left leg is out to the side like your frog leg. On your inhale, sweep your arms up and reach. On your exhale, hands heart center, and then walk them on out, coming down to your forearms, maybe a block, maybe your forehead comes all the way down. Whatever you feel, but you should be feeling a stretch in that front leg hip area. So it really stretches out all those muscles that help rotate your hip in and out. And the hip can be an area of pretty significant stress and strain and can kind of clog the flow of energy and can make you feel just a little bit slower or less attentive or just distracted. So letting your energy flow is really helpful. When you think you've had enough, walk yourself back up, walk your legs on in, and go ahead and bring yourself into your mat. So you're elongated on your mat. We're going to kind of work in boat pose for a little bit. So the important thing about boat pose is first you find a way to sit on your bottom so that your weight is on your sit bones. And with your knees bent, walk your feet in so just your toes are touching. Because eventually our goal is to kind of move our weight back onto the sacrum, which is the lowest part of your spine, and to be able to lift our toes off the ground, maybe just a little bit. And if that isn't working, you can put a block here and bring your heels up to the block or bring your toes up to the block. So if you're working towards shifting your weight back onto your sacrum, a block can be really helpful in allowing you to get to that position. Otherwise, maybe your hands are behind your thighs so that you can hold these legs up. And the goal is to just try to keep your core engaged and your spine lengthened. So that's going to look different for every single one of us. Maybe your arms can extend out. And if you're doing that, you want energy in those arms. So your fingers are like lit up, your abs are tight, you're even having energy all the way through your toes. And when you feel like you've had enough, you can kind of hold on to the front of that knee and kind of come back to your seat. And you can do any kind of stretching in between these boat poses. So sometimes it feels good to knee to let my feet come back together, let my knees open, and then I hinge forward into a butterfly stretch. Sometimes it feels good to walk my feet wide to the mat and do a little windshield wiper side to side. So you just have to decide for your body what feels good in between these. Maybe laying down feels good, but you're going to get the choice. So come back, set up your boat, come into your boat, and we're going to work for holding the position, not your breath, for 6 long breaths. So inhale, exhale. We're just holding the position. So you're holding your abs while you're controlling your breath. I have 2 more breaths. And on your last exhale, lower down to stretcher, with just everything's long, but in a hover, just for a second, and then all the way down to the mat. So you're laying flat on your back in Shavasana. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, hug it in. Bring your right knee across your body so you're in a supine twist. My right arm is a cactus. My left arm is pulling my right knee towards the left side. So I feel an opening in my right shoulder and across my right hip and through my spine. On an inhale, bring your knee back in and then use it to rock and roll yourself back up right into boat. And maybe this time you're like, whoa, I kind of want to hold under my legs. Totally fine. And maybe you want to think about, on these 6 breaths, extending a leg. So right leg up, inhale. Switch, exhale. Inhale, right leg up. Switch your legs on the exhale. You can hold onto your thighs or not. It's totally up to you. Whatever allows you to keep your spine long. One more. You know where we're going. On your exhale, come down to stretcher where everything hovers just for a second and then lower it down. This time on an inhale, bring your left knee into your chest. And on your exhale, bring your left knee across the right. So I'm going to cactus my left arm this time. Use my right arm to pull my right knee across. So I'm opening my left shoulder, my left hip, twisting through my spine. Just for a few breaths. Then I want you to come back when you're ready. And you're going to use that leg. We're going to rock and roll up to boat one more time. So however many little rock and rolls that takes, back to your boat. Okay, last one. Inhaling and exhaling 6 times. Okay, if you're shaking. On your last exhale, you lower all the way down to stretcher. Hold it just for a moment and then lay flat. This time what I want you to do is go ahead and roll all the way over onto your stomach as we prepare to do some work on our back side core. Okay, but for now, make a pillow with your hands under your forehead, just laying on your stomach. As you're breathing here, you can feel your breath even better. Fill your belly first, then your lungs, and then you can exhale. So this is a good exercise if you're working on trying to work on that breath, because you can really feel filling your belly first, then your lungs, then you exhale. Good. Bring your hands back slightly as we prepare. We're going to do a series of cobra, up dog, locust, and bow. So these are all for our back side. So on your inhale, as you come up into cobra, You're opening the front side of your body, but you're lifting with your back side. Keep those elbows tucked in tight. Let your bottom be relaxed. Use your back to lift you. On your exhale, lower back down to the mat. Same thing. Inhale, cobra. Coming up to your degree, but you're leaving right now your hips down. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, coming up to cobra. Exhale, coming down. Go ahead and stretch your arms back so there. Make a pillow for your forehead and just rest for a moment on your stomach. Come back to your intention. This time we're going to move into up dog. So tuck your toes so that on your inhale, as you press your arms up and extend them, you bring also your weight onto the front of your feet. And this time you do lift your hips off the ground for up dog. And then as you exhale, roll right back down where you started. Okay, so my forehead is on the mat. My hands are on the mat. My elbows are bent, but they're tucked in beside me, and my toes are tucked. So that as I inhale and I press up through my arms and I come onto the tops of my feet, my hips lift, my gaze is straight forward, and then as you exhale, you just roll right back down. One more. Inhale, press with those arms, come up onto the top of your feet. Exhale, come back down. Good. This time, stretch your arms out so they make a T. Keep your right arm where it is. Turn your gaze to the left so your right cheek is on the mat. Go ahead and roll onto your right side, bending your left knee. So this is opening your right shoulder and twisting through your spine. Just for a moment. When you're ready, come back to your stomach. Then we're going to do the other side. So this time your left arm is long, your left cheek is on the mat, your right knee is bent, and you roll so that your left shoulder is being stretched. You can feel it all the way through your spine. Calm your mind. At any point in time, just close your eyes, come back to your breath. And when you're done, come back to your stomach because we're going to prepare for the next thing, which is locust. So locust is very energizing. It is using all the muscles on your back side, and it's lengthening your front side. So on your inhale, bring your chin to the center, and you're going to lift your chin, your shoulders, your feet, probably your knees will come off the mat. So you're really kind of just balancing on your lower abdomen, your hips, maybe the tops of your thighs. Energize that body. Lift your arms, lift your legs. As you exhale, drop your right cheek to the mat and rest. Inhale, chin to center, and then lift everything up. Your shoulders broaden, your heart lifts, your arms are flying backwards, your fingertips are energized, your legs are lifted, and then when you're ready to exhale, turn so your left cheek comes down to the mat. Okay? So you should not feel any pinching in your back area. If you do, this may not be the best pose for you. You may want to keep a towel roll under your hips so you keep your spine a little bit more supported and a little bit more neutral instead of emphasizing the extension that this pose requires. We're going to then move into bow. So for bow, your chin comes to the center. You bend your knees and you reach back and you grab maybe the tops of your feet or maybe down onto your ankles so that this time as you lift, your hands are secure around your ankles. So your front side is opening, your heart is lifting, your back side is working. The harder you work to extend your legs, the more you lift your heart. And when you're done, exhale, right cheek to the mat, laying flat. Feel free to close your eyes. We have one left. Come back to the center, bend your knees, reach down, grab your ankles and lift. Maybe you're rocking a little bit with your breathing. That's good. And when you're ready, you exhale, right cheek to the chest, or right cheek to the mat. Good. And just rest for a moment. We're going to do a few more energizing poses in plank and our side planks. And then we'll be good to go. So moving into plank from here, chin to the center, tuck your toes, tuck your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, fill your body with breath. As you exhale, press yourself up into plank. So in plank pose, I should be a straight line from my crown to my toes. And if you want to, just drop your knees. But notice you're still in a straight line then from your crown to your knees. Okay? This is not correct. This is not correct. Straight. So engage your abs. And we're going to hold plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone drop your knees. Come back, child's pose. So your belly is resting on your thighs. Your chin, your forehead is resting on the mat. Your forearms are on the mat. If you want to bend your elbows, bring your hands into a prayer mudra at the back of your neck. And when you're ready, on your inhale, reach your hands out, stretch your fingertips long, and we're going to roll our spine back on up into plank. And we're only here for a moment because we're moving into left side plank. So left hand to the center, roll to the outer border of your feet, lift your hips, engage your abs, lift your arm. So I'm in a straight line from my left hand to my right hand. Your right leg can come on up into tree as long as you can keep your hips lifted. You can lift it up so you make a little star. But then when you're done, roll back through plank, come down all the way to your belly, and rest. Turn your chin to one side. Maybe close your eyes. We have one more side to do our plank on. So when you're ready, tuck your toes, chin to the center. As you're inhaling, hands underneath you. Fill your body with breath. And as you exhale, press yourself up into plank. Right hand to the center. Roll to the outside border of your right foot. Hips are high. Left arm long. All your leg options. Work on that core. Lift your hips. Broaden across your chest. Hold your belly tight, your low belly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come back through plank. This time, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So this is our first and probably only down dog because we're just working our core during this session. We're not doing a full Flow. On your inhale, lift your heels, but go ahead and bend your knees, bring them down to the mat so you're in tabletop position. A couple of cat-cows here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, gazing through your legs. One more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Tuck your toes. Come on up into a tall kneel position. So we're going to work on camel here a little bit. So in camel pose, you can see that my toes are tucked. My goal is to keep my shoulders, hips, and knees aligned for start. And as we move into the back bend portion, sometimes you have a tendency to sit back with your hips, but the goal is really that your hips stay forward and you're pushing them forward as you're opening your front body. So for starters, take your right hand, twist to the right so you can see your right heel. Put your hand on your right heel, push your hips forward, okay? And then extend your left arm up straight. So my left arm to my right arm, make a straight line, push your hips forward, hold in your low abs. Inhale, lengthen, gaze up towards your hand. And as you exhale, pull with your belly, pull yourself forward. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up as you reach. And as you exhale, drop your left hand towards your left heel. Go ahead and look at it. Push your hips forward, right arm up. So now you're in camel, twisted to the left. And on your next inhale, squeeze your low abdomen, pull yourself back up. We're going to try that full expression, so that means both hands come back this time. And if you don't like that, you can do one at a time. Both hands are back to my heels. I still push my hips forward, but maybe this time drop your head as you fall back towards your heels. If you've done the right, make sure you also do the left. And when you're ready to come out, engage your abdomen, tuck your chin as you come around, flatten out your feet. Go ahead and everyone sit down on your feet. Okay? And then we're going to come and do a few final stretching poses. A couple of twists. So move the flesh out from underneath your bottom so you're sitting nice and square on the mat. Your legs are long. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold, hinge at the hips. So just bring yourself forward first. Okay, my gaze is straight. And if you'd like to, you can reach down and grab, call these your peace fingers. Hey. Grab your big toes with them. So it helps you lengthen your spine. Keep your body long. You're hinged forward at your hips. Just let the weight of your head drop. You can kind of tuck your chin a little bit. If it feels better to bend your knees, because sometimes then that actually lets your hips hinge more. Your hamstring muscle on the back of your body goes from the back side of your knee all the way around the back side of your hip. So as we hinge forward, we're stretching out the hip, but that might be limited by a tight hamstring. So if you let the hamstring release at the knee by bending the knee, you can kind of stretch the back side of your hip more. And then you can like kind of thread it and go back and forth. So extend your knee, let your hip off a little bit. So you kind of like go back and forth. But when you've had enough, come up to your tall seat. We're going to do a twist. So I like to cross my right leg over my left and then bend my left so I'm actually sitting on my left heel. Okay. I want you to inhale, reach your right arm up, and as you exhale, twist right so you're bringing your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Your right hand can prop behind you to kind of give you more of a twist. And if you want, gaze over your right shoulder. We worked all the muscles in our core, so it's kind of nice when you're done to like wring it out. So that's what this twist is helping us do. Inhale, chin to center. Exhale, undo your twist. And then I want you to switch your legs. So this time my left leg comes over the right. My right leg bends, so my right heel is under my hip. I inhale my right arm up, and as I exhale, my right arm comes to the outside of my left knee. Twist left, gaze over your left shoulder. My feet are still active here. My right foot is on the floor. My left foot is flexed. So this is by no means just a lazy little stretch. I'm still activating through my lower body. I'm still activating that pelvic floor, engaging my lower abdomen as I twist. On your inhale, bring your gaze back. On your exhale, undo your twist. Go ahead and let your legs just kind of shake them out. Maybe it feels good to windshield wiper them. We're going to do one more stretch. So you can come into a reverse tabletop or a reverse plank. So in either case, you're going to turn your fingertips to face your hips, and you can either bring your feet in towards your hips so that you lift up into a reverse table, or you can keep your legs out long and you can press up into a reverse plank, whichever. And when you've had enough, come back down to your seat. Maybe find your block. We're going to do one more butterfly and then move into our closing quiet time of meditation. So I like the block under my hips because it helps me. I kind of like fall off the front of the block, so my pelvis moves into an anterior tilt. And in doing that, it allows the hips to just fall open. And so with my feet together, you have a whole bunch of options. Remember, you can put that pressure on the thigh to help it come down. You can put your hands around your ankle. Maybe inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge at your hips. You can bring your forearms down and kind of wrap your forearms around your feet. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down. So just a few breaths here. Let the emphasis be, though, on opening your hips. So if in order to get down, you got to really come out of the hip stretch, don't bother. When you're ready, come back to your seat. And we're going to come into our final breath in our meditation. So just come into a comfortable position for you. Maybe try to reverse the seat that you had at the beginning. So in the beginning, I was in a left half lotus. Now I'm in a right half lotus. So maybe just try and switch it up a little bit. In your seat, we're going to stay nice and grounded this time. So palms down on your knees. Lengthen your spine, close your eyes, inhale, exhale. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Bring your chin to your chest. Bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Bring your chin to your chest. Keeping your eyes closed. Come back to your neutral spine from your crown to your seat. Roll your shoulders back and down. Keep your hands palm down on your thigh. Come back to your intention. Focus on that. Take that positive energy with you off the mat. By aligning your body, you can align your mind and your spirit. And you can take that positive energy with you wherever you go. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Have your fingertips meet at the top. Gaze up. Exhale, hands, heart, center. It's been my pleasure to guide you in this Friday fun little yoga session where we really focus on our core. It's customary to close our practice by saying namaste, which means the light and the love inside of me sees, honors, and cherishes the light and the love inside of you. Such a beautiful phrase in such a short little word. If that feels good to you, we can bow to each other and say namaste. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me on this Friday. Now it's time for happy hour. Go have fun. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your fun. And I hope your core feels amazing. Bye, guys. See you later.